Welcome to another travel edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Down here in the corner, like we like. It's nice and quiet. Hey, Karen. We're back in Toledo, Ohio.
We are, and if you watched our last review in Toledo, Ohio, we stayed at a different hotel. We have stayed here before, and we really liked it. I can't remember why we mixed it up, but sometimes we just like to do that, try a different brand. I don't remember if it was the same brand or just a different hotel with a slightly different location, right? But we're back here at the Residence Inn Toledo West, I believe is the name of it. So if you are coming to Toledo and you've got to stop through, I highly recommend this hotel or the sister property. I don't know if they're attached or they're right next door to each other. I believe it's the same owner, the Courtyard by Marriott. What I love about this particular location is we are very close, walkable to a Whole Foods, which, as you know, Jeffrey and I are plant-based, so we love having a Whole Foods nearby us. And there's also a pet store over there and a couple of other, kind of key places. So if you're stopping through and you need to pick something up, this is a great location. The Residence Inn is always one of my favorites for stop-throughs because they do have something larger than the under-counter refrigerator. I haven't seen this size, I don't think, before. Maybe I have, but this is kind of like a in-between. So if you're, if you're comparing them to dogs, normally you get the, the toy-sized refrigerator, the Chihuahua. This is, I would say, the standard size, and then there's the giant, which would normally go up to there. But this was great for us. We were able to put all of our food that we're traveling with for the next just 3 days in here, as well as a freezer for the ice pack. And I do love having that freezer for the ice pack, which you don't get in the little mini refrigerators. There's also a dishwasher here, which is great. So if you're coming through and you do travel with your own utensils, etc., and you want to use a dishwasher, you can. We did not use it, but it's great to have it available. This was just slightly awkward to me, the way that it had the floor and then it sort of starts. I'm not sure why they did that. It doesn't aesthetically look super pleasing, but again, this is a stop through. We're not here on vacation. This is not the Andaz, Costa Rica. This is the Residence Inn in Toledo, Ohio. So a great stop. Perfect for us to sit there after we had dinner, which we sat over here. This was a little bit odd. I think this can be raised. We didn't want to bother with it because of the amount of dust that usually comes off of these.
Yeah, we sat down and had a glass of wine. I said, this is kind of awkward. I can't see my date. I had to move the table out. But
Exactly.
Anyway, we should mention too, we stayed here, so obviously you can see our stuff. We're packed
Yes,
up and moving out as always, right?
Yes, so when we came in, it was very clean and tidy. I'm going to give it a 4.5 on cleanliness. There was just a few things, and I'm really particular that, if I see a water stain anywhere, to me it's like, ooh, they missed that area of wiping down. So I give it a 4.5, which is still pretty good, and I would 100% come back here as opposed to the other location that we were at last time. This hotel feels fresher and cleaner. The carpet's nice and clean. The little L-shaped sofa, it doesn't have any stains on it. And this is cute. If you're coming with a family, it's probably not as convenient, but I do believe they have rooms with bigger seating areas, so ask about that. This hotel is also dog friendly, and I believe their sister property across the street, the Courtyard, is not. So keep that in mind.
I wanted to add too, so you didn't interface with any of the people as I did when I came in, but the woman was fantastic, great attitude. She was just so pumped up to welcome me. Said, let me see if I can get you an upgrade. We had just a pleasant conversation. I said, wow, you're so nice. And she said, I'm paid to be nice. And I thought to myself, everyone's paid to be nice, but a lot of people aren't. So I just really appreciate it when you've got someone smiling and so helpful. So
Right.
I give the staff a 5+.
5+, and Jeffrey immediately told me that because we always want to include that. To us, that is probably one of the most important things, up there with cleanliness, is how the staff not only treats people, treats each other, but respects their job, because it's a reflection of your stay and of the quality of the stay you're going to have. And to get a 5+ is really way up there. You know, that just warmed my heart. And again, if you do play the travel game with the hotel chains, as you know, usually you have to ask for that upgrade these days. They're not as willing to give them out. So the fact that she mentioned it and we never had to ask for it, most often in these kind of hotels, we never even bother asking for it. It's not important, we're here for a night. We would ask for it when we're staying for vacation. But the fact she offered it up without you.
Yeah, and the upgrade, obviously for we're staying here, not a big deal because normally the bed is like in this kitchen area. So let's just move over there because what a great night's sleep we had. But so the bedroom is separate, which is kind of nice.
Good point, Jeffrey. Normally it's a studio, so there's a TV that separates the bed from the living area. This one actually has its complete own bedroom with its own door that shuts off, you know, that closes the rest of the room. So if you are traveling with a family too, that's kind of nice. I'm guessing that's probably a pull-out, but I'm not sure. The bed on a comfort level, I'm giving it a 3. It was okay, it wasn't fantastic. The weight of the blankets was really light for me, and the pillows, I'm a big, you know, pillow snob. I have to have this squishy pillow, and Jeffrey likes a more foamy pillow. These were kind of in between, inexpensive pillows, so I didn't love
I'd give the bed a little higher rating. We never usually disagree on this stuff, but maybe because I drove for 10 hours, but I slept like a rock.
You did,
so
and I was up quite
I'm gonna swing around here so I can like show out the, you can see out the window, the courtyard is right across the street, the sister property Karen had mentioned.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do have to close the shades so that you're not looking at the big courtyard sign. But these are blackout shades, and we had 0 issues there. They were
quiet.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great.
It was very quiet and perfect. And then, of course, the bathroom is very standard. Again, we have stayed here, so please keep that in mind. But, you know, there's a single sink and a, you know, a bathtub shower in there. Super standard.
Very clean, efficient. It's great. In and out, which is what we're looking for.
So just to reiterate, location, if you're coming to Toledo, Ohio, this is a 5 on location. Stay here. It's a great spot. Again, near Whole Foods and some other really, you know, cute little restaurants as well. On cleanliness, I gave it a 4.5. On the bed, I gave it a 3, and I think, Jeffrey, you're giving it...
I'll give it a 4.5.
And Jeffrey's giving it a 4.5. I kind of like that we differ there, but again, we really differ on pillows and our desires for pillows. Now, usually we have the same, rating on the comfort of the bed itself. But as Jeffrey said, he drove 10 hours yesterday, and I won't bore you with the details, but we had to take a detour due to an accident that took us through a very harrowing, windy, icy road.
Just say, thank God we had the Jeep and 4-wheel drive.
That's right, and Jeffrey was like this the entire time.
Yeah.
So I think he was really just relieved to be out of the car and into any bed. And I think any bed would probably get a high marking for you.
And before we wrap, I give my coffee rating too. So I give these guys high marks with coffee. So I went down first thing in the morning early, as I always do. The coffee was ready, piping hot, ready to go, which is one of my keys to success in staying on the road. I love to have my coffee ready first thing in the morning. One of my pet peeves when you go to higher end hotels, I have to wait for a barista to show up, sometimes 9 o'clock, and you have to pay for your coffee. I mean, I'm not really worried about paying. We stay in a lot of hotels. However, it's just I get used to going down and just pouring my own coffee, and it's early and it's hot and it's there and it's free. I like that.
Right, and I think that's important. And we're going to try to always put the coffee rating in there for those of you who are coffee drinkers. And I believe across the street, the Courtyard does not offer free coffee. And it's the same echelon, the same caliber, the same category hotels. So it's not always the high-end hotels that don't offer free coffee.
No, that's a good point. I think
very often these lower-end hotels, they don't offer free coffee. They don't even offer, free breakfast. That's sort of a luxury. The Residence Inn always has a complimentary breakfast as well as coffee and tea out there, I believe 24/7.
Now, coffee usually, but I will say this, you haven't been down there yet, but they're still doing that real low-end grab-and-go breakfast, which,
Oh, okay.
by the way, we're shareholders here at Marriott. I do appreciate everyone making money during these tough times, but I think it's time to kind of get back and,
Right.
Frosted Flakes out and an apple and a water is not really breakfast in the morning for most people. We usually don't eat, specifically me, I don't eat breakfast in the morning. I know you never have.
But if you're traveling with a family, that's a huge savings to be able to feed your family of, 3, 4, 5, 7, however large your family is, for free before you hit the road.
Right.
So that is a big advantage to these residence inns. And I agree with you. It is time to get back to that breakfast. I do want to say my heart goes out to these businesses because they're having a really difficult time nationwide on hiring people and having enough employees.
Right.
So I don't necessarily think they're doing that because of the situation. I think that, they're doing that because they just don't have enough employees.
Well, the situation's kind of causing that, which,
exactly,
which I think at the end of the day, they don't have the people, they don't have the staff, so they have to cut back on that, and it helps. So I'm not really annoyed with it, but I do think it's time for things to get back. I did grab a perfect apple for the road, which reminds me, we gotta get rolling because I think I got another 10-hour day today driving.
We do. We had to compress our trip a day, so we're doing 3 10-hour days instead of 4, more leisurely days. So from the residents in Toledo West in Toledo, Ohio, wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love.
Thanks for watching.